when you plan, let's say you're asked to teach a lesson tomorrow. You have to plan for that lesson. What would you do? And you don't have to give me the correct answer. Well, give me a guess, an educated guess. What would you do? What would you start with? Go ahead.
I would start with the objective.
Objective. Yes, correct, correct. What the objective would be? Can you try to teach me what objective is? Go ahead.
Uh, a specific goal?
Yes,
Perhaps
exactly, a specific goal, absolutely. What else you want to put in your plan? What else do you want to? Go ahead.
A step by step how you're going to teach your objectives.
A procedure, excellent, yes, absolutely. What else? Now, that objective comes from where?
An idea?
An idea, yes, yes. What else? So far, you're doing great. Correct. What else you think you want to plan for?
The 2014 national standards.
Oh, great. Yes, you want the objectives to be based on the standards, and we're going to discuss about the standards. So, a systematic approach is we have 6 steps that will help you create a good lesson plan. And obviously, the first one is the objective. I would like, when I plan for a lesson, I like to keep the objective simple. And I just want to state the goal. And I've been a music teacher in elementary for 13 years. My objective was always simple, and it started with this. By the end of the lesson, the students will. And then I'll write what I want to achieve for that lesson. The students will be able to do something, or will know something, or understand something. So you see where I'm going? Like, you have to have a goal and clearly express that goal. By the end of the lesson, the students will be able to. And then you state the accomplishment for the lesson. Okay? Now, I have some suggestions. It's always a good idea to start with a backwards design. So you know your students, you know their skills, their knowledge, their abilities, and then you establish a goal. That's the objective, based on what they can do. It should be, first of all, it should be achievable, something that they can accomplish within that lesson, but also should be challenging. You don't want to keep them bored during the lesson. In order to have them involved, the goal should be challenged. And then one thing that I found that works really, really well is communicate that objective to the students at the beginning of the lesson. Tell them what you want to accomplish, and they will be in your team. They will try to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So it's a good idea to actually have the objective written on the board. As they come in, you tell them what you want to achieve. Now, the standards. You mentioned the 2014 standards. So we have national standards and the state standards. National standards are for the entire country. Most of the states that also adopted it, it's called Common Core Curriculum Standards. And about 40 states, they all use those Common Core standards. Florida is not one of them, so we have our own. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. We're special. I'm sorry, never mind.
No, please. I mean, you're not wrong, yes. And you can't say anything wrong in this class. Okay? Please just feel free to talk to me. I'll try to share my experience, and you can also learn from each other. That's very important. If you don't want to continue, that's okay. But if you want to continue, you have to take
It doesn't seem inherently bad to have our own.
Say it again?
It doesn't seem inherently bad.
Okay. it doesn't. What else?
I feel like maybe Florida needs different things and
Absolutely. We may need something else than the students in the state of New York or New Jersey. They, you know, so the state standards are tailored to what we need in this state. Well, we also have the national standards. It is more likely that we're going to use both. But when you're going to be a teacher soon, you want to make sure, you know, check in with your supervisor, you know, see what the requirements are, because I know educators who love the CPALM standards and others who love the national standards, but others who just simply use both. So, you can access the state standards at cpalms.org and the national standards at nafme.org. Not me? Okay. So I'm going to go through the standards a little bit. First, I'm going to start with the state standards. Obviously, that's how the web page will look like. I'm not accessing the web page right now because I'm not sure the internet connection is good or not. But this is if you do access it, that's what you're going to see. And then you go to the standards. I could have just given you the links that will take you straight to the standards, but it's easier to remember just the cpalms.org. And then you go to the standards. Once you click on the standards, you will see they give you different subjects. And then you go to the music, and once you click on it, they will give you the grade levels. And then here I clicked on the second grade level, just so we can see how it works. And it says here, big idea. So we have 5 big ideas. The one is critical thinking and reflection. The second one is skills, techniques, and process, and so on. Now, if you click on this one, the big idea, they will give you enduring understanding. Can you tell me what do you understand by enduring understanding? What does that tell you? Enduring means
Lasting.
something that's going to last, yeah? So something that they will take, something that they will learn and they will keep throughout their life. You know, some things that we learn in school we simply forget, but some things stay with us. And those are the enduring understandings. Those ideas are based on those enduring understandings. And we have 3 of them. Now, once you go to click on one of them, you see they have a little arrow right here. Once you click on them, then it gives you the standards of that idea and that enduring understanding. And it's a good idea that you actually get familiarized with those standards. And then we have the national standards of music education. And again, if you go to the website, nafme.org, you go to the standards, and then you go to music standards, and here you have them. You have general music, composition, theory, music technology, guitar, keyboard, harmonic instruments, or ensembles. So I went to the general music, and then you get a PDF that you can actually print. And then you can look at the standards this way. So I downloaded that PDF. And it's easier to see it this way. So, what do you think pre-K stands for?
Preschool?
Pre-kindergarten. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and so on. So these are the standards, and you see there is an A and a B. Now, there are 4 categories for the standards. Students should create, they should perform, respond, and connect. And if you see here, CR stands for Two here stands for second grade, third grade, fourth grade. So this is an easier way to identify whether you are on the correct standard. And if it says A, that means maybe you are at the beginning of the year, and it says B, you are at the end of the year, because they already went through that, and it's a little bit more advanced. And as you see, it moves on, gives you all the standards, and to simplify, I put them together in this way. So we have creating, performing, responding, and connecting. I told you about this. And each one of them, they have subcategories. They imagine, plan and make, evaluate and refine, and present. And do you see those? They kind of repeat. Evaluate, evaluate, evaluate. Yeah, they present, they present. So they all make sense, and they're similar. But you have to plan your lessons that your students are exposed to all of them. Okay, so as I said, some of them, they have this number 2, it stands for the grade. CR stands for creating, PR performing, RE responding. And that's the easiest way to identify the little code that stands with the standards. And when you plan, you would probably want to write in the actual standards as well. Let's say if you are planning a second grade, you want to mention in your planning what they're gonna, the standards that you're gonna work on. Let's go back to the presentation. So I want to do a group activity, yes, and we're going to plan a lesson based on the national standards in music education. Okay, so I have copies of the standards with me. You don't have to remember. And when you're going to be teaching, it's a good idea that you actually have these on your desk. Okay, I want 2 groups, so it's up to you. You can sit on one group or the other one. Your choice. And since you have to write, you probably want to sit at the table. And so far, we only went through the objective and the standards. So what I want you to do, plan the lessons up to this point is just to, state the objective for the lesson, and it should be based on some standards that you're going to find there. Now, if you're on an adventure and come up with the materials that you think you're going to use and the procedure and so on, that'd be fantastic. But we want to keep this short. The reason that we only do the objective and the standards is because we just spoke about it, and I don't want to just move on before you actually work on it a little bit. I want you to be exposed to the standards. So, Group A, Group B, Group B. Group A, let's say you're having a second grade class in general music, and you are at the beginning of the semester, of the school year, and then Group B, you are in a second grade general music class, but you are towards the end of the school year. Okay? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. If you need anything else, I have pencils, and I have papers that you can write on. So each group should come up with one lesson plan that only includes the objective and the standards. And these are there are 16 pages each, so you may want to share it. Okay? So there are 16 pages each, and these are one set of standards. This is another set of standards. You may want to share. So again, we're looking for a second grader, a second grade class, general music. You can use one standard or maybe two or three.
Is this the one that we do, or like do?
We create right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is the, and we want to keep it short. Let me sit with you and maybe, so. Second grade. Where are the second grade?
So we want to create.
Okay, so you have, this is
like
green,
something downtown, you know? So,
Yeah.
and then performing,
so we're second grade, so we draw the ones in the second column.
and then
I close the bottom perfect.
responding. So you choose what you want to do based on the standards. Look at the second graders. This is A, then it says
Provide
B.
them the catalog patterns and
This
these
lesson
lenses
will be a little bit more advanced. So what,
Yeah.
where are you in the school year?
For the second.
Towards the end of the school year, so you probably already told
Second grade.
the class based on this standard, here, based on this standard. You will want to move on to a second standard, which is just a little bit more challenging, it's about the same thing. Or you may want to choose something here, or here, or here. Now, if it doesn't have a B, that means that, that's the standard. So they don't suggest something more like that.
A single elementary school.
Okay, and then, yeah, something to write down, or I can give you something.
No.
Yeah, oh, you do? So you just write the objective and state which standards would fit the objective. Okay? Okay,
We want to do creative.
so, you have creating, then you have performing, and then you have responding, okay? Connection is a
Campus,
little
any one
bit
of the ones that
later
we
on
use.
when you want to connect basically what
Did
you
you
said to that.
See if there's any one of the ones that we use, just the first two
Thinking
pages.
is like how the dynamics
creating.
affects the
Oh.
the outcome of the
Not the-
performance, and then they include that in the performance and tell you. But here, you want to choose something that you're going to do. When you establish a goal, I'm going to teach something, I'm going to teach this. And it's either going to be.
Right, so one of them has to do with
these,
generating these books,
Second grade is the beginning.
and one of them has to do
now, are at the
with
beginning of the year or
standard
the end of
deviation.
the year?
Beginning.
Now, if
Or icon
there's an A
interpretation.
and then a B,
Which
which one
one
do
seems
you think you
easier to
should
us
put?
to do?
A, yes, because
I like generating.
the
as
end
well.
of the year you probably already told it that, and you don't have to. Now some, they don't have A and B, so that means that's standard throughout the whole year. And doesn't have to be one, Think of
Would
what you want to
students
do
be like
with the
composing
second grade,
something?
with the second grade class, and see.
Yeah.
Actually, I would rather
Generate visual
bring
patterns and ideas. So do you want to write the standard down?
come up with something that will
I
fit.
think you just need the serial number.
When we usually make lesson plans, is it for what period is it intended for? Like a whole semester or just a day?
So you need a
Oh,
tonality.
this is a very good question. I was asked, the lesson plan is for how long? Well, normally you should plan for a whole year, because you want to know. See that backward design that I talked about it? That's the curriculum for the whole year. You want to come up with a long-term goal. What the students will be able to do at the end of the school year, and then you'll have benchmarks that progressively you will get the students to that point. And then those individual lessons should fit within those benchmarks. Okay? But when you're going to be a teacher, most likely your principal would want to see your lesson plans ahead of time, like about a week. Like, for example, today you're going to send in the lesson plans for next week. So you have to have at least a week. But you don't want to just plan blindly. You want to have in mind the long-term goal, that's the end of the school year, and then maybe 4 benchmarks that will take you there.
After this next week, are we just doing a single week?
Right now we do just one lesson, 40
Alright,
minutes.
so we need tonality and a meter?
So, think about this, or this.
So no.
Read through this,
Okay.
and see what you want to do. Okay.
So those the objectives would be for students to be able to compose a short, melodic line.
Right.
Purpose
They have something to learn? Oh, okay.
And we could just do quadruple meter to make it easy.
Did you find standards that work?
Hmm?
Okay. Just one?
Do you have any
Focus?
No, so far.
See if something else will fit. Because here they are creative. Are they going to perform with everybody? See, you may want to put them together. Really good job.
You can.
For performing?
Yeah, since it's out here. I don't know which ones, but.
Gives a lot of instruments and kind of take turns. Even the shy kids would kind of go together at the same time.
So you think, what do you think that would fit? Creating, performing?
Most likely creating.
Creating.
Improvising.
And this one?
Yeah.
Now, do you think they're going to perform what you do there?
Well,
If they improvise, do you think they perform?
Yeah,
See
the
if there is a difference?
Kind of use both in one lesson.
Yes, absolutely.
You reach out with the
Yes.
class. Well, I was. You did?
For this one, it just says perform appropriately for the audience and purpose.
Which one is that?
That's page 9 or 16.
Is it grade two?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Just technical accuracy.
perform music for a specific person, for a purpose.
Any questions? Everybody well?
I'm not sure exactly how to.
Yeah, it will be accurate.
So, do you formulate an objective? Do you know what you want to accomplish?
Yeah, we know we want to do the rhythmic figures. Because we're
Yeah,
gonna have like
probably
percussion
rhythmic,
instruments and kids will some music.
You all agree on that?
Can I? Sorry, what's that?
So we think that falls under creating. We're trying to look for something for performing though.
Okay.
Slamming.
So, what medium do we want them to create the melody on?
That seems like an editor kind of thing. It seems like you need an audience.
An iPad?
What if they don't have money for it?
Well, this is our theoretical lesson plan, so we have all the money in the world.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Okay, you should probably end. You know, make sure you have the standards that
I think that's all.
Yeah, of course you could.
you want to include and objective.
And we can set a certain scale on iPads, so whatever scale we want.
So a certain major key.
F sharp.
The object.
So,
So, it has to be in a certain tonality, so you can set it on a certain scale.
so they're representing something on an iPad.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you still looking at the objective?
Yeah, for the second,
Objective?
for the second.
Oh, we were just talking about other things.
Okay. So you're done with the objective?
Yeah.
You done with your standards?
Mhm.
Great. Let's go back to our seats. How about group A? You state your objective for the lesson?
Yes.
Okay. And you have your standards?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, this is not.
Improvise rhythmic ideas and demonstrate knowledge of expected problems.
The reason for this activity is that we discuss on it, see how we can improve. Okay? And if I'm going to be tough on you, please forgive me. You know, I'm just going to pretend I will be a mean principal who has no idea about music and music education. I used to be a math teacher. So I want you to be clear to me and make me understand what you want to accomplish. Okay, let's go back to our seats. Initial seats. And again, all the standards, I'm gonna send them to you, so you'll have them all. Okay, group, who wants to start first? Group B, because you've been sitting for a minute already. Do you wanna state your objective? What's your objective for the lesson today?
For students to be able to compose a melodic line.
Okay, for students to be able to compose a melodic line. Okay, did I say I want to be a mean principal? You forgive me? Okay, to me that's just a benchmark, okay? Because that's something that you want to accomplish today, but you want to accomplish next week as well, and so on. That you know, being able to compose a line is not necessarily something that you're going to do today only. What is specific about today? And then, you know, you'll be able to compose a melodic line, and then you want to say what about that line, okay? Within a certain tonality, or it's a major or a minor, or it should have an interval of perfect within an interval of a perfect fifth, or you have to be specific what you're going to do that lesson, okay? Because you want them to improvise a melodic line, not just now.
I'm sorry, I'm so lost.
I'm sorry. Yes, I wanted to help you to better formulate the objective. What you just gave me is great, but I can argue that and say that's what you're going to do every lesson, not just this lesson. I want to know what you're going to do this lesson. So that's why I want you to be more specific. They're going to compose a melody based on something. Okay. Anyway, so what are the standards that go with your objective?
Well, I just wrote down the sentence that MUCR 1.12B.
2B. B stands for more advanced. CR stands for creating. Yes. Do you have another standard that go with that objective, or that's the only one?
We also had MUPR 6.12B.
PR stands for performing. Yes. So now we know how the codes are put together. Great. That's very good. Do you have any comments? The group A, do you have any comments on the group B? So the students will be able, by the end of the lesson, the students will be able to compose a melodic line. Is that your objective? Comments? Everything good? Okay. Group A.
So, I'll read what I wrote originally, but can I make an addendum afterwards? Like, just say what you said about his, can I reword mine to be more specific after I read the original?
Sure.
Okay, so the original says, by the end of the lesson, students will be able to improvise rhythmic and melodic patterns and demonstrate an understanding of expressive qualities. I'd like to add to that, they'll be able to improvise using percussive instruments, such as drums, mallet instruments.
Okay, that's great actually. I like that you specifically tell me how you're going to